talk about how I clean my brushes using water mixable oils. If you're using regular oil paints, disclaimer: do not use this method. This is for water mixable oils. Okay. So step one, I've got just a bottom brush cleaning bucket. It's got a little grate in the bottom, and I've got some water and dish soap, and this is for just cleaning the brushes while I'm painting. So this is one way you can do it, probably the easiest way you can do it. You can also use some other, like bristle magic, that works too. This is just how I do it. So I take, and I don't know if you can see, there's a line around the bottom, and I just fill up to the grate with water. Go a little over the grate. Perfect. So this is just the right amount of water that I use. And then I use Dawn dish soap. You can use any detergent, soap, whatever you want. And I just pour a little tiny bit in, not very much, just like a drop. And then once that's in, I seal it back up, snap the lid, and I give it a good shake. And there should be, yeah, you can't hear it anymore. So there's, and sometimes it does explode when you open it too, so you gotta be careful. But you should end up with some soapy water, just like that. Yeah, you can see there's bubbles in there. And then once you've got that, it should smell pretty nice. I take some paper towels and my brush that's dirty, and I just swish it around there. And then I wipe it off on the sides, and then I shake it out into the trash. And then I wipe it down some more with the paper towels. And that's how I clean my brushes when I'm painting. Now, this next part I'm going to go into is how I clean them after I paint. So one thing, if you're using water mixable oils, and it's not the same between every brand, I have this problem mostly with just my Winsor & Newton ones, is that over time, after like a week of painting, the bristles will have, they'll be kind of sticky, and I can kind of feel it with this brush, even though I just cleaned it with the soap and water. It feels like the back of a sticky note or a Post-it note or a stamp. It's just kind of, I don't know what it is or why it happens, but you end up with this weird sticky stuff in your brush, and you can't clean it off with just this soap and water. I've tried many times, and it just won't come out. So one way that I've found that does work with that, I'll set this down over here, is to use kind of a similar technique, but with baby oil. And this does clean off the whatever the sticky stuff is that is getting into the brush. So to do this, very simple, mason jars. I use mason jars for everything. Take a mason jar. This is just some off-brand baby oil that I got. Mineral oil, anything works. Fill it up. Usually just to the edge of the brush works. For me, it's like a quarter of the bottle, maybe half the bottle. All right, so that's out. Yeah, it's filled up about a quarter of the way. Yeah, so like right here, there's some kind of mist there. I don't know what that's about. But once you have that, take your brush, and then I just spin it around, drop it in. And for big brushes, this is okay. Like just setting it in like this, the brush won't bend or warp or anything. You don't have to worry about that. But if you're using a fan brush, or even worse, if you want to use like this script liner, this little tiny script liner, if you set this in here like this, it's bent. I don't know if you can see that, but the brush is like hooked like that. And if you leave it overnight, you'll end up, it'll literally look like this the next day, which is not what you want. So one way I figured out, or I think I found it on a forum somewhere, somebody just said to get some modeling clay. So this is just modeling clay I got on Amazon, a big roll of it, and a popsicle stick or a throat stick that you put in when you're feeling sick. The doctor puts it in to check how your throat's doing. You can push the clay onto that, so it makes a nice little bar of clay, I guess. So it looks like this. And then you take that and you press it on the side So it just kind of hovers there. So now my little jar looks like this, and it's got this little bar here. So what do I do with that? I take my little brushes that I don't want to get warped, and I set them in to the oil to the point where they're just about to bend. And then I press them into the clay, and the clay will hold them there. It'll hold them there overnight. So I can just set them like this. Notice, I don't know if you can see at the bottom, the brush is not warped at all. It's just kind of hanging out there in the oil. And I can set them there, and I can leave them overnight. No problems. And the next morning, I can just show you. I'll take the brushes out. I'll do it with this big brush because it wasn't very dirty. It was a little dirty. I squeeze it against the sides to get all the oil out. And then I just press it into some paper towels until I don't, oh man, that thing is dirty. That is a very dirty brush. Never forget what I said about that. Oh, yeah. Okay. But once you've gotten most of the oil out of it, you want to get as much as you can because it gets, if you have any of this baby mineral oil stuff in your brush and you try to do painting, it'll never dry. You'll just have a sloppy painting that you can never touch or move because it'll get on everything because the paint doesn't dry. So that's one thing to avoid. But once you've got most of the paint out, you can take one brush or one paper towel around the brush and just wrap it around, kind of like this. And then I always fold it at the top, and then I push down, and then I leave it. I'll set it like this, wrapped up for an hour, 2 hours. It'll soak up everything, most everything that's in it. And the same with these little brushes as well. So that's how I clean my brushes. That's my cleaning routine. If you got your own, let me know. I'm always interested in how people clean their brushes. And if you don't have the sticky residue on them, I would also like to know how you avoid that because it's been kind of a pain. I've ruined a few brushes because of that sticky stuff. I don't know how to get it out of the brushes. So, all right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.